Suppose that we were not given this table, but yet we wanted to produce it based on the XY data that we're given. In that case, we could go into Excel and simply produce that table using all of the commands that are available to us. So we have the year data in, and then what I did was just basically subtracted 1900 to get the numbers 10 through 100, and then I wrote the death rate, or D rate, in this next column. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and do the x squared terms. So I'm going to write x squared. Okay, so the Shift and 6 key on the standard keyboard is a lot of times used for the exponential operator. So I'm going to write that as x squared. Now what I want to do is take whatever number is in column B and square it. So there's a couple of ways to do that. You could do B2. Okay, so B is the column, 2 is the row, and then I could multiply that by itself. That would be one way to square something. Another way is to just write B2 raised to the second power. Okay, and then you can actually grab the bottom corner of that cell and copy it down. And you know that 20 squared is 400, 30 squared is 900, so it looks like it's doing everything correctly. I also need the y squared terms, so I'm going to write y squared. Okay, so that's where I need these numbers squared. Right? So again, multiple ways to do it. I'm going to write equals C2 Shift 6 for the exponential operator to the second power. Okay. And then I'm going to copy those down. I need the XY products. So in that case, I'm going to say equals. I want to take the number in B2 and multiply by the number in C2. And then again, I can copy it down. So then here it's multiplying B3 times C3. And the next one is B4 times C4, and so on. Okay, so then what I want are the sums. Okay, so I can do ampersand sum from the first number, which is in cell B2, to the last number, which is in cell B11. And notice it puts a big box around everything you're taking the sum of. You can also copy these over, just like that. And you can see that this is going to be the sum. If you hit F2, it'll be all the numbers in that blue box. Okay, F2 again, all the sums of the x squareds and so on. So you just have to keep track of this top identifier so you know what is in each of the cells. So then if I want to do any of the calculations that we were talking about, now I have all of these sums. I just have to sort of match up which one goes in the calculations. But you can see that these are all identical to what we had before. The sum of the XY products, okay, is 28,135. Sum of the y squareds, that's the big number, 38,249.4. Actually, if you wanted more digits, you could just make the column wider, and then you can see the more digits. Sum of the x squareds, 38,500. And then, of course, the sum of the x's and sum of y's also match up. And then all you would do is, just like we did before, go back and plug these values into the equation.